the big thing for me that was surprising was it rode really well. I did 2 runs in them. I think I did a 13 miler and then a 10 miler. Just jumped right in and did them. I don't normally recommend that, but it was fine. You know, I didn't get hurt. They worked better than I thought they would. I was really skeptical about the forefoot. I tend to land kind of midfoot or flat footed. And so the forefoot's important to me, and seeing a carbon plate up there with very, you know, little materials around it, I assumed it would not be very well cushioned up there, but it really, it was responsive. It did what it should do, or, you know, maybe even more, especially in today's world, you know, where things have evolved with footwear and plates, plated technology. It's all the rage, and it works. I mean, the science is showing that this stuff makes a difference, and it's really evolved in these 10 years. And it's, you know, to a point where most people are, you know, all the world records these days are being run in shoes that have some variation of some plate. There's not much happening that doesn't have it in it. So Len clearly was ahead of the game on that one, in going a full application. Even in the early 90s when I was at Reebok, we were doing stuff with carbon fiber plates, but more of a support structure is what you'd see a lot of it for. It really wasn't being used as a cushioning device. So, you know, I don't know. I'm sure there may be other things out there, but I think Lens was probably one of the first ones that was somehow figured out a way to use carbon for cushioning or energy return, rather than a structural support. So I thought that was, I mean, looking on it now, like he kind of ahead of the times on that. And certainly I've always wanted him to like figure out a way to get this out there and evolve it. And it sounds like he, you know, the product has, he says he's addressed the things that I had my picky issues with, and, you know, and taking that feedback, and maybe some of my feedback was, you know, was just me. You can't just, you know, pick one person and do it, but I know he's had lots of people running him. I know he's done lots of miles in the shoes, and, you know, continues to evolve it, you know. And, you know, from my perspective as a retailer, as a runner, as a, well, I guess mainly as a retailer, like we don't need any more shoe brands out there. You know, we're trying to, all of our brands have added all these styles, and we want to represent the brands we're partners with. And it's just hard you can't carry everything, you know, and we've had to narrow down the brands a little bit, number of brands, just so we could, you know, carry the breadth of the lines and the crazy new stuff our vendors are carrying. So I've told Len, I'm like, I ain't, you know, as soon as this thing's huge and we know and we see data, then we can talk. But we, you know, until people are pounding our door down for something that we don't have, you know, it's just not something that retailers can do, you know. And a Kickstarter is the way to go. We have a brand that we actually carry in the store now that he did it as a Kickstarter. It's a casual brand, so it's a little bit different, but he's a local Naperville product. You know, he went to Naperville North High School, went to Illinois, and he went to work for Under Armour as a designer. And now he makes a brand called Cotty, and it's very cool. I think we're still as one or maybe has 2 retail outlets, but he did it all Kickstarter, and had a great audience and sold a bunch. And, you know, that's the beauty of Kickstarter and whatever you call social, I forget what exactly you call that, but, you know, funding with the people. You don't need to make a ton of them, and you can get some financial help without having to, you know, sell out, you know, get a bunch of investors and give up your, you know, your ownership. So I think it's a great idea. I'm excited for him to do it. Still challenges, still, you know, who knows, especially in today's world, but very excited for him.